Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Aetherdrift Draft here on the channel. We're going to be going pick by pick, play by play, talking through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. This set has been a ton of fun for me, and I hope to share some of that joyousness with you during this draft. Okay, so our rare is Count on Luck, which is really powerful, but you have to be very heavy red. So triple red, but you get an extra card every upkeep. So if you have like 10 red sources in your deck, this card becomes castable on like turn 5 on average, which is still really good as a card advantage tool. And that's really when you can leverage the cards anyway. So that's a strong consideration. There's also Guidelight Synergist, really good in the blue-white artifacts deck. Rocketeer Boost Buggy, obviously good in red-green. I don't like starting with multicolored cards because they are very inflexible. So if I start with a red-green card, there's not a very high chance that I end up in red-green because red and green might not be open. Whereas if I start with a card like Sabotage Strategist, if it's any blue deck, I can play it. Guidelight Synergist is a bit of a secret gold card because I don't really want to play it in my random white-green deck. So it's a little bit more flexible than something to the Boost Buggy, but not by a ton. And then in the commons, I like the Lotus Guard Disciple and the Deathless Pilot. I'm just going to take Count on Luck, though. We'll see if we can get this to work. Okay. So now that we've started with that, if we are going to play this, which we don't have to, we want to be heavy red. And so in order to facilitate that, taking another red card as a follow-up would be nice. So something like Marauding Mako as a follow-up is potentially really strong because if we get more red cards, then we can get the Mako going. And yeah, there's some discard and cycling and such that we can use with the Mako. So this is like a tempting follow-up. It's not the best to exile off of Count on Luck, but just taking more red cards, that's kind of the logic. I don't think it's even close to the most powerful card in the pack, though. I think that the Earth Rumbler is just fantastic. 5 mana, 7/6 Vigilance Trampler. It's hard to crew, but if you have a full graveyard, you can make it work. So I'm really tempted to just take that. Then there's Spin Out as a kill spell. Interesting. I'm really tempted by the Earth Rumbler. The Mako's fine, but I think the Earth Rumbler is just a better card. Sabotage Strategist is also fine. Double blue is not really where you want to be if you're trying to play the Count on Luck, which I am still trying to do. Okay, so a couple picks in, and we see a Voyage Home. So really good blue-white artifacts card. We're really far away from doing that right now, but it's always good to note the powerful cards in the pack regardless. Carry On Cruiser is another strong one. Not really the same direction as Count on Luck. It does go well with the Earth Rumbler, though. It fills your graveyard a little bit for that card. And there is an Endrider Catalyzer that goes with Count on Luck, potentially. Other than that, this pack is pretty bad. I think it's between the Endrider Catalyzer and the Carry On Cruiser, but I'm just going to take the Carry On Cruiser. One of my philosophies in draft that I think will really help you, especially if you're newer, is to just take high-quality cards at the beginning and then start to piece together what deck you want to end up, instead of taking a high-quality card at the beginning and knowing what type of deck you want to put it in. So like, oh, I want to play this in a heavy red deck, so I'll just take every red card. That's one approach that I use sometimes if I see good red cards. But now I'm just like, okay, I have good cards. I can mix and match. Now I could be a red-black deck, a red-green deck, a green-black deck. I don't really even have to be I don't have to go these like set directions, and I can just be really flexible with things. Here, another somewhat weak pack, I would say. The best card is maybe Guidelight Optimizer. I really don't love Fuel the Flames. You kind of kill a lot of your own creatures and end up just cycling it a lot. Dynamite Diver is okay, but not my favorite. Thunderhead Gunner. There is Rugged Highlands, so if I was to go red-green, getting dual lands would be really helpful because it ups my red count for Count on Luck while still letting me cast my other color of spells. So I actually might take that because there's nothing I really like in this pack other than this. There is Thunderhead Gunner, but I can get those later. There's Scrap Compactor, there is Starting Column, Guidelight Optimizer, and even MTG Arena agrees that this card is a solid pick. I mean, I'm not even sure, but yeah, that's the card that I kind of like taking here. Okay. Now there's Stock Up. This card is fantastic. It's really strong to just get 2 cards out of your top 5. The problem is I don't really have any other blue cards. I have some really good, strong cards in other colors. This is like taking a multicolored card, by the way. It's like, yeah, it's just a card that makes your deck better, especially with Count on Luck. I wouldn't have taken it if I didn't have Count on Luck, though. I'm kind of wanting to take Pothole Mole here. It's a nice 2-for-1, fills my graveyard for Earth Rumbler, helps me find lands for Count on Luck. So this card's very tempting. There's Fang Druid Summoner. which does some stuff. I'm not going to move into blue right now, though. I think that Pothole Mole, I could either pair it with the Carry-On Cruiser and still go black-green, or I could just, like, play it in any green deck and have it be good. Okay. I'm feeling pretty happy I didn't try to dive into blue there. It ends up working out, I think, here. Now there's Ripclaw Wrangler, I think is the only real consideration. This card is actually a solid card to put in your deck, and these other cards are garbage, so they're not all terrible. A Pedal to the Metal is a card you can play sometimes. It's not looking like red is open, so it's looking much more likely that we end up in just a black-green value deck, and that's why I'm really happy that I took the Earth Rumbler. The Rugged Highlands I could still use to facilitate a splashed red card, so it's not completely useless. Sorry. But the Carry-On Cruiser is not really necessarily... I mean, the Carry-On Cruiser is going to be good in black-green value, and Ripclaw Wrangler is going to be great as well in that type of deck. Okay, Nimble Thopterist. So blue might have been open this draft. That's a pretty late Thopterist. There's also Streaking Oil Gorger as a top-end card. There is Maximum Overdrive. Also just a Walking Sarcophagus. Can't crew this, but it's an artifact for some of those synergies. Maybe I do take the Thopterist. There's nothing good for me in this pack. But I could also just take an Oil Gorger or an Overdrive. I'm not really going to miss out on any of these cards. I'll just take the Thopterist. Maybe I open a good blue card pack too. And now I'm going to take the Scurryfoot or the Rat over the Scrap Compactor. I think of the colors that I am, the Scurryfoot's going to be better. It's more of a proactive card. Making an elephant, no joke. The 3/3, you can use the Scurryfoot for crewing things like these cards, which is a pretty significant upside as well. Scurryfoot can die. You can get it back with the Cruiser. All those kind of lead me to wanting to go this direction here. And I still am not committed to black. I could just be a red-green deck still and just like count on getting red cards in pack 2. It's looking less and less likely, though. Black is looking open, wheeling a Deathless Pilot. Reef Roads is fine. Pedal to the Metal's okay. We haven't seen a single red card we wanted after the count on luck. The Thopterist was, albeit, a card that we're never really going to play unless we open up a crazy good blue rare in pack 2. But Deathless Pilot is a nice addition. And then there's Grim Javelineer. Not the best card in the world, but not terrible. Works well with Scurryfoot because you can just start sending in those guys. Works well with Deathless Pilot. Just a creature that can be used to crew things. Fills your graveyard sometimes. Yeah. This was the pack. No, this wasn't the pack where we took the Rugged Highlands. The Rugged Highlands pick was pretty early on, I think. Okay, we'll take the Oil Gorger now. Hello, evil comrade. Welcome to the stream. I am streaming this live on Twitch if you see me answering questions or things like that. Our black-green deck is looking pretty reasonable here. We got 3 green cards. We could also be black-red. We did pass that black-red dual land. Okay, some red cards here. I think we're going to just accept the fact that we're not playing red and just take the green-black cards. I guess technically we could still move to blue, but okay, nice. So, after pack 1, we're in pretty good shape. We've kind of got this black-green value deck lined up. We got a couple blue cards in case we open a crazy good blue card, which we didn't. We've got the Count on Luck, which we're not going to play. We could splash green if we really wanted to, though we don't have any fixing other than the dual land. So we're going to put that in the sideboard for now as well. And then the Jaguar is not particularly good, but all of our other cards are pretty reasonable. The Oil Gorger is not great either. So, in this pack, the main 2 picks are between the Gastel Raider, which is a really good 3-drop. You can take some cards out of your opponent's hand, get some value, and then it eventually gets a Menace and +1/+1. And then there's Grim Bauble as cheap interaction that can then fill your graveyard and fuel your synergies in the late game if you have any Artifact Matters cards, things like that. I think we'll take the Raider. I really like this card. If you do hit a creature, hit an instant or sorcery with it, you feel like you kind of won. And I think that card is going to be pretty strong in our deck, especially in certain matchups. This card is an absolute beating. I wonder if we could double splash it. I really don't think that's possible. We're super far away from playing this. I guess, yeah, we're not going to be able to get this to work. Yeah. There is a Hellish Sideswipe, though. I like that card a lot. Hellish Sideswipe is a kill spell if you sack an artifact. If you sack a vehicle, you draw a card. So I often find myself sacrificing things like Ripclaw Wranglers or things of that nature. Just a very cheap, efficient removal spell. You can sacrifice a Scurryfoot once you've made the 3/3. We have some synergies going around, so I'm pretty happy to get this. Okay, pick 3. This card seems pretty messed up. I mean, this card, you want to have a lot of creatures, which we have an okay number of creatures. We have 7 right now. But you basically have this with a bunch of creatures, like your Scurryfoots and stuff like that. And then you just get, like, all of your creatures are must-answer threats. So it's not necessarily, it's like kind of like card disadvantage, because if they technically kill all your creatures, then this card doesn't do anything. But you're kind of in good shape. You don't really want to play necessarily as many cards like the Jaguar that don't get as big of a buff. You just want to have a lot of cards that make like 2 creatures for 1, like a Scurryfoot. There's not that many of those in this set, but I think the March is really, really good. It's just so hard to answer a lot of the time. And now I'm going to take back on track, I think. There are synergy pieces in black-green that make this card really strong. We don't really have them right now. We're not really looking to play the Oil Gorger or the Jaguar. We don't really have the synergy pieces with it right now, but if we get a Thundering Broodwagon, we'll be really happy we did that. And also just being able to reanimate things is pretty good, like even a 6/6. Maybe we'll wheel that, though, and we could take like a Rat or a Beast Rider Vanguard, though. Yeah, I feel like you want the pieces to make that work before you go for it. I'm just going to take the Beast Rider Vanguard. I need more 2-drops. Okay, there's another Beast Rider Vanguard. There's also a Rise from the Wreck, so this is a huge value play. The more that we get cards that use the graveyard, the more Earth Rumbler is a bit of a liability, exiling cards from our graveyard, but this card lets you get back mounts, vehicles, creatures with no abilities, and just a random creature. So we could potentially get a 4-for-1 with this card. It's just really hard to set up, so I'd rather just take the Vanguard, especially because this can be played on turn 2, and I'm pretty happy playing it on turn 2. I don't think Rise from the Wreck is a high priority pickup. This card, however, has been really impressive. It just really makes it so your opponent doesn't want to attack you, because if you get to max speed, it's a real payoff getting whatever you want from your deck. There's also a Ketradon and a Repclaw Wrangler, but I think I'm going to take the Hour of Victory and see if I can get that to work. And now there's Locust Spray and there's Hazard of the Dunes. I'm going to take Hazard of the Dunes. I don't have a ton of interaction, but Locust Spray is not like premium, I don't think. And Hazard is just like a beefy creature. And even though it doesn't get the most buffs from this, once you put the counters on it, it's a 6/6 with 3 counters. I think Locust Spray is tempting, though. You know what? I am going to take the Locust Spray. I can cycle it. I really want to try this card, and I haven't had a good opportunity to. Okay, there's a Pothole Mole. Perfect. We are going to mill this card some percentage of the time and be sad, but the Mole is still nice. Fills our graveyard and our synergies. There's a Surveyor. I don't love the Surveyor. I think it's kind of mediocre to bad. And then perfect, we got a Stampeding Scurryfoot to go well with our March. Overall, feeling pretty great about where this draft is right now. I don't really want to play Maximum Overdrive. I don't love combat tricks in these grindy decks. Just want all my cards to be 2-for-1s. The Grim Javelineer is kind of the poor man's March of the World Ooze, as it were. It makes your creatures into attackers that actually matter. I don't want to play the Loxodon Surveyor. Yeah, this draft is looking pretty good so far. We don't have any like crazy huge creatures, but which would be a little bit better because those have some recursion ability with like a Carrion Cruiser if we mill them from our Pothole Moles. But we are filling the graveyard a lot, so that's good. And we have, I think, open colors, which is also nice. And I think Locust Spray is going to end up being a better pick. We don't have a lot of interaction. We have 1 kill spell that can really kill things. And so getting more kill spells is pretty important so that you can interact with your opponents. And Chitin Gravestalker, nothing to scoff at right now. Broken Wings could make the cut if we need more interaction. We're currently lacking in that department. This is like the fringe interaction that you play when you don't get anything else. Bestow Greatness, not my favorite card. It's just really expensive to pay 3 mana to win a combat, even if it does trample over for some damage. Beast Rider Vanguard can help find the March of the World Ooze. That's nice. Last pick Ripclaw Wrangler is insane to me. This card's actually like really good. Yeah, that's shocking. Okay, so now we have an interesting pick. Not really that close. I think Broodheart Engine is really good. I've been very impressed every time I've seen this card. We'll end up with something big, and we'll be able to get it back into play. And it also sets up our draw steps and things like that. There is a Grim Bauble, which I like a lot. I think it's a very powerful card. But I think that Broodheart Engine is just better, especially because we have the whole pack to find some really powerful, expensive cards. And I think we will be able to fit those into the deck. Grim Bauble is great. And then there's Run Over, which we're not going to be playing. But it's mostly between these two cards. But we're just going to take the Broodheart Engine. It's just a little bit more powerful. You can really get a huge mana advantage from that. And then I'm going to take a Fang Druid Summoner. I don't need another Grim Javelineer. It's probably going to wheel anyway. And I might wheel the Gibberic Omnivore as well. Though I haven't seen a lot of vanilla cards, and other players have taken Fang Druid Summoner, so they might take the Gibberic. But I think this is going to be a fine pickup for my deck. Kind of a 2 creatures for 1 card to go well with the Ooze as well. And we could also just see another Gibberic later in this pack as well. So, random vanilla cards for the win. We're going to take Bestow Greatness out of here. Here there's Wretched Doll. I don't think this card is crazy good or anything. We don't have the most artifacts for Packed Doll Terror, though. Let's just do a quick count. 5 artifacts, not the most, but this card, 2 mana creature, and you can get a little bit of card selection out of it sometimes. So, it's okay. There's also Scrap Compactor. I would play it in this deck, considering I only have the 2 interaction spells right now. And Locust Spray is kind of a stretch. Broken Wings currently definitely in the deck. But yeah, Packed Doll Terror is fine. But we're happy to get another 2-drop that can surveil us to victory. I think this draft is going pretty well for me so far. I'm pretty happy with it. We got the Ooze. This is like our best card. So the fact that we might mill it with Pothole Mole is scary, but you aren't going to not play your Pothole Mole because it's still a good card. Okay, time to splash the Apocalypse Runner. It's funny because that's like not that far outside the realm of possibility for me. If I had some fixing, I might consider it, just so I have some more, like, make Pothole Mole unblockable, make all of my creatures into real threats. I think I'm going to be able to get there on that front, though. There's Point the Way, which I don't love. Just really hard to use. There's another Gravestalker, which I think is going to be the pick. Just another big creature that can come down cheaper because of the Pothole Mole. I have a high creature count / artifact count. Not really creatures themselves, but artifacts plus creatures. I think the Gravestalker is going to be fine. Broken Wings. There's another Deathless Pilot. There is a Wretched Doll. There is a Scurryfoot. Creature count 13. Scurryfoot is really good with the March, but it's not doing a ton outside of that. There is the Deathless Pilot. There is the Wretched Doll. I don't think Wretched Doll is better than the other 2 cards here. It's, I think, between the Scurryfoot and the Deathless Pilot. I'm just going to take the Deathless Pilot, I think. I value the ability to constantly trade it off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a pickup. Imagine going ARCHETYPE into March of the World Ooze. I mean, this pack would have been great for me. If I could just take this entire pack and get no cards for the rest of the draft, I would. Because there's Grim Bauble for removal. There's the Gibberic Omnivore for my Fang Druid Summoner. ARCHETYPE, pick 6. Oh my gosh. There's a Gastel Raider here, but I think I have to take the Grim Bauble for more interaction. I already have 1 Gastel Raider. I think it's a great card, don't get me wrong. But I think I need the interaction. And now there's a Ketradon over Locust Spray. I think that's a pretty easy pick. Though I do have the ARCHETYPE now as a big creature. Locust Spray. No, Ketradon's super good. It's a really important card for these decks. There's a Tortoise. I don't love the Tortoise. I mean, I think the Tortoise is pretty solid in some decks. I don't love it here because I don't have a lot of vehicles for it to go with. Fang Druid is not going to make the cut if I don't get that Gibberic on the wheel, but I did because I knew I would. There's a Grim Javelineer, but Gibberic makes the Fang Druid a good card, so I was pretty confident I'd get the Gibberic back. That's why I took the Fang Druid over it. Was Deathless Pilot better than the 3rd Scurryfoot? I'm not sure. But I do think that Deathless Pilot being better in the early game is important because you can't always count. Like, this card is better once you get to turn 4 and 5, maybe. But this card's even pretty solid in the late game. You can like turn it into a permanent chump blocker, things like that. The Earth Rumbler's a weird one here because it's going to be good, but there are cards that I don't really want to eat them. So the Gravestalker. I've had some interesting close picks in this draft. Oh my gosh, I wheeled the Scurryfoot anyway. Well, I guess the 2-drop guy worked out then. This deck has a lot of creatures in it. I don't want this Oil Gorger. I don't want the Overdrive. I'm actually glad that I didn't take the 5-mana reanimation spell, because I have the Broodheart engine, and I don't really want other ones, because, yeah. So I'm going to have to make some cuts here. My mana is a little bit tricky. Yeah, I have technically more black cards, it looks like, but I have a lot of double green cards at the top end and triple green, so I'm going to go bias towards green. This guy can find me black mana if I need it. So I think 9-8 in favor of green. The Sideswipe, the Grimbauble. I've got 3 Scurryfoots, the Wretched Doll, Jabiric. And I have Carrion Cruiser to get things back, so I have a couple of recursion effects. Here, I think the easiest cuts are just the Gravestalkers. It's just being like dumb big guys. There's no value associated with them. The Grim Javelineer, because I think I can get better value from other things. Broken Wings. Let's see what removal did I get. I don't know if I got really removal spells. Yeah, I think I have to play Broken Wings. Okay. I can cut Wretched Doll. I don't think that card's great. And I have 5 other 2-drops, which is fine. And I can cut 1 Scurryfoot. Also, Pothole Mole milling a Deathless Pilot. I think that pick is even more correct now that I think about it more. Maybe I just get rid of 2 Scurry Feet. Yep, this deck seems pretty good to me. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it does. I wonder if I could cut a land and play 1 extra copy of this guy because it's cycling. No, it has to take a vanilla creature. No abilities. An ETB is an ability. Would I rather have a land or this guy? I'd rather have this guy than a land. Okay. We're doing it. I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the people who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Patreon support allows me to make high quality content on a consistent basis, and patrons gain access to cool bonus resources like my card by card tier list for each set, including Aetherdrift, and my format thoughts document where I go more in depth on some cards and strategies that I like. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It really does make a big difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1 on the draw. One of the reasons I cut down to 16 lands is because I have the 2 Pothole Moles. It will make it harder to cast the March of the World Ooze, though. I fully accept that. Anytime you can trade off a Deathless Pilot, you feel like you've won. Come on, Forest. You know, not the best mill, but I'll take a land. Maybe I would rather have the Forest than the Chittering guy. Looks like they're a little bit color screwed. Search your library. Jabiric. No attack. Them getting up to max speed is way more important than me dealing 2 damage right now. They concede. Nice. Feels good. I kind of want to add back in that forest that I cut at the end for the chittering guy. I don't think chittering's going to matter that much, but the land can. Having only 8 green sources when you're trying to cast a triple green spell is a little bit dicey. I felt it. I could tell. I can read the spirits. Okay, we're going to do it like that. I'll see you folks in the games. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this hand. It's sketchy as heck, but we have plenty of early game. When you have a deck, so this is just an important concept in Limited. If you have a deck and you can't keep a hand that's 3 spells, 4 lands, then it kind of shows that you don't trust your deck building. Because you'll draw some early game if you put early game into your deck. Is this the same person we just beat? I kind of think it might be. I mean, it feels the same. It certainly feels like it. Okay. We'll play the Wrangler, because then we can sack it to the Hellish Sideswipe. Ooh, they get rid of a Deathless Pilot. Pure value. Nice. Arch of the World is nicely done. I definitely want to sacrifice this to the Sideswipe, but I think I want to Grim Bauble first. See what we're drawing. Definitely keeping both of those. So it's a creature or vehicle card. I have an artifact, so they can't really attack me with the Leonin Surveyor. Yep, I'll let them do 1 damage to me, though. They're digging. Hoping to hit like a pothole mole here or something. This is the downside, but I mean, I have a lot of creatures in the deck. Don't get me wrong. I'm like more lacking the interaction. That's kind of what I replaced with things, but I would like to have a creature. I could have just played the Ripclaw Wrangler I already had. Okay, we might be toasted. Casting this carry-on cruiser did not work out the way I wanted it to, that's for sure. Watch this. And I still get the block. Max. Oh, they killed that guy. Okay. Now I just need to find a creature. Those 1/1s are no joke. Like, they're gonna kill me for sure. Okay. I need to find my third green to play this March soon. If I can find this green to play the March. There we go. One rat down. Okay. I'm saving this to try and snipe the last card in their hand. Maybe greedily. I guess they'll just play their good spells this turn. I'm also holding up Broken Wings. Perfect. Yeah, they're not going to save any spells. Boom! Nice win for the deck. March of the Whirldews, once again, being great. Yeah, I sometimes get, like, too obsessed with value. I probably should have just played it. Let's go. Got the win. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We've got a good hand. Locust Spray. Doing good work for the team. That's a good feeling. That guy could be a problem, and I don't have a lot of interaction. Maybe I should have taken more of those. Broken Wings is huge. I probably would have played a second copy even. Okay. Easiest block ever. It's one of those things where it's like a 2-for-1 for me almost. Okay, there's another Mako. Pothole Mole doing the work. No! Pothole Mole! You betrayed me. So close. I even milled my, like, March. I'm so sad. I'm not really worried about winning this game, though. I'm feeling very confident in my ability to win it. I've got just a couple of huge guys in my hand. They have not gotten off to a fast start. This card is not doing anything. They're playing kind of a bunch of disjointed cards. Just keep building out my board. Sure. One of the funny things about this is this 1/1's actually the biggest problem. Like, I kind of want to use Broken Wings to kill that. Okay, I got rid of the removal spell. That's good. Okay, they crew. Two can play at that game. I'll trade 5-4 for 4-3. They will eventually be able to recast that card from their graveyard, which is kind of annoying, but... We'll just play our big guy out here. It was tempting to try and just kill this and hit them for a bunch, but... I'll just hit them for even more this next turn. What the... That's a bit of a illustration of why you don't use combat tricks on defense. I'm not cycling this, I want to play it. They're at max speed now, which is a little bit annoying. They can play that thing over and over, but it's basically like an equipment. Oh no, please say they don't have the board wipe. Oh my gosh, but I could still take a bunch of damage from this thing, but... Gosh, do they really have it? I always lose to the board wipe. Oh, it's not the board wipe, thank goodness. I saw 5 mana rare and I was like, I'm done. Sure. Wait, I think I can win this turn. Always look for lethal. They're definitely dead. Got the win. Oh, yes. Oh, we're cruising. Feels good. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We have our march and already have the triple green. Living the dream. Because this is one of my only interaction spells, I'm trying not to cycle it until I have to. First draft and went 7 wins for the first time ever. Green-white is awesome. Thank you for all your guides / draft content before the set. Definitely helped a ton. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm really glad you found it helpful. That's awesome to hear. I have this Tuesday off from work. Not all Tuesdays. Charge! This is one of the scarier max speed payoffs, because you know they're going to get something good for the situation. And they already got a 2/2 out of it, so I kind of like this card. Here comes the Ripclaw Wrangler. Do-do-do-do-do. That's fine. Trip Up is not my favorite version of this card. So cycling is good on this card, don't get me wrong. But a lot of the recent versions of this card have been like cast it, surveil 1, things like that. And that I think is better than cycling because you usually want to cast your Trip Up type cards. Stock Up, that's a good one. Luckily I'm up to max speed though, so they're kind of in trouble against this. I'm very tempted to just go get a land with our victory. Like go get a swamp or something. I think they have a counter spell up though. Let's see if they counter this. Yep. I get the pothole mole. If I just draw a land, I win. Maybe I should have used this instead of playing this. Yep. Sky Ray. Grease Wrench, sure. They can't cast spells during my turn, really. Boom! Got the win. Yeah, I probably should have just gotten the land from the search up. It's just I wanted to go get the Achenek. Because Achenek is so good with March. And who knows what they have, like a board wipe or something, or I need to do something. But yeah, let's go. Huge win. See you next round. Welcome to another round. This is a great hand. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we're going to go Scurry. We're going to go Omnivore turn 2. Boom, ba-dum, 1, 2, 3. It's sometimes good to just get in the habit of playing your cards post-combat anyway. Like, sometimes it doesn't matter, though. So just play quick. if I don't mind sharing what is my day job. I am an energy consultant. I know. Very impressive. It's pretty cool. I don't normally talk about these things. People don't usually ask. But yeah. Everybody needs energy. True. But usually people get energy from food. This type of energy. I mean, people need energy for like turning their houses on and stuff too. That's not a very technical way to say it, but you know, it's cool. Okay. Remember, they can crew this, so got to keep that in mind. So only going to attack with Jabiric. And pass. We'll activate the Stampeding Scurryfoot. Okay. I'm not sure why they're over attacking here. That's a psychotic attack. You might wonder why I blocked like that. It's because trading 3/3 for 4/4 is pretty reasonable. And because I only have like one real removal spell, I don't want to use it on this. If I can avoid it. I could have traded 2 2/2s for it. That might have been better given they have a 2/3. So that's kind of another consideration we could have done. Especially because I have an endless stream of 2/2s. Wag the Feast. Okay. Some pretty good cards they milled. Not gonna lie. They really don't want me to get the Hour of Victory. Understandable. Greetings from Malaysia. Hello. This is the new Vroom Vroom set. We have 3 creatures in the graveyard for the ARCHETYPE that we kind of want to get. But I'm also fairly convinced that we want to go get the thing that makes all our guys 6/6s. Spin out. Yep. I'm pretty sure if I can get this thing to pop, then I win. Rover Blades, okay. They're out of cards. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna have a 5th card in the graveyard after this. think Achenak is better than the March of the Use at this point. Especially because they're in top deck mode. And if they kill it, I can just attack with all the insects every turn. If they kill Achek this turn, it's kind of a bummer. Major bummer. Jeez Louise. Because I was going to just send all the vehicles, I mean, insects, and just do a bunch of damage to them. I mean, I still will. Him gaining 2 life, too, is also a bummer. Just top deck World Ooze, easy win. What are they doing? What? Do they really need max speed for something? Why are they letting me hit them for 7? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Why? Oh man, that's so weird. If they crew, they're literally dead. Okay. So I can crew this thing up. They crew both their vehicles. Block, block. I still just swarm them. They like don't have enough stuff to block all my guys. Even for 2 turns. Like I have 5 attackers for next turn. They do get to surveil too. I kind of wanted to play my own Grim Bauble just to surveil too. Like killing Deathless Pilot would also have been okay. Because then they'd have to spend all their mana getting it back. Instead of surveilling 2. Okay. I still have 5 attackers. Boom! Got the win. Nicely done. Nicely done. I did have fun. What a win. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We'll keep. On the draw, we need 1 land to get to the Pothole Mole. We even have a cycler to help us do it. I'm not going to Beast Rider Vanguard here. I'm cycling. Boom, did it. They can counter this if they want. They might have the counter spell. Beautiful. We're ticking up. Worth a shot. Sometimes people just won't block there. They had an extra land, looks like. Interesting. Extra island, at least. Okay. So this does expose me to them attacking me back with the Quicksilver, but I really wanted to guarantee that I got the speed boost. I was going to just play the Earth Rumbler, but this card's going to be better if I can get it set up. Because if I can find the World Ooze, I'll just win. So I might have to go get Broken Wings or something. I could see that being the case. Because this flyer could deal a bunch of damage to me. I have a reanimation spell to get that guy back, though. Which could be good. Okay. I'm actually okay seeing that. I'm very happy if they double block. And I'm going to play this over activating this. Though I would love to activate this. That's just the type of player I am. I will still play the 7/6 Trampler with Vigilance. Because that will make sure I get this Hour of Victory triggered pretty much. Spike Shell Harrier. Yikes. Hate to see it. They're slowing me down. Okay. Good value all around by them. Broken Wings is looking more and more likely. Okay, they have so much value. Drawing a lot of cards. Their creatures are pretty formidable. A couple of 4/4s and such. I'm threatening to swing for lethal myself next turn, though. And some of it has trampling. Okay. This guy's doing a lot of work for them. They're threatening lethal this coming turn. I'm probably dead here. I don't think they're going to let me get my stuff going. Though if their artifacts die, then they won't have enough to kill me. With the guide light system, maybe. Wow, they just take 7. Hellish sideswipe? No. Broken Wings is the best, I think. I still have a lot of good top decks. I have the Beast Rider Vanguard that can help me grind a little bit. And I have the ground gummed up, so I have at least a few draw steps plus Beast Rider activations. Sure. And they're going to have to start making some blocks, I think. So the Atchik doesn't actually do that much, so I'll take the Raider. Send it to the bottom. Oh, I'm so dead. Yeah, you can't win them all. Cannot win them all. Though I might have a shot. They don't have a planes yet to cast it. So if I top deck exactly March of the Whirldews. No, but they can just cycle and make enough blockers to end this. Yeah, I am dead. No, because my Gastel Raider has Menace. So they'd have to double block him. Yeah, they can just make enough chunk blockers that it won't matter. Oh, and they drew it anyway. Okay. This actually would have been good enough if they didn't have the flagship. I'm just holding out hope that they go for some sort of alpha strike. And then I hit them for like a bajillion damage. Okay. Yeah, I'm so dead. There's no reason to surrender, though. I mean, maybe they'll screw it up. Yeah, we were just waiting for the draw step. Bummer. That was tough. Real tough. They had a good deck. My gosh. Just thinking about it, they had a lot of artifact payoffs and a lot of really strong cards. Huh. Yeah. I needed my ooze. I'll see you next round. Welcome to another round. Easy keep. We have a great hand. Okay, Molt Tender. Sure. Let's start with the pilot. We can get the Broodheart engine going next turn. But damage is damage is damage is damage, as I like to say. That's a good draw. I will use it to kill their Molt Tender. Don't want to let them get too far ahead in the mana department. Okay, cycling the Ketradon. There we go. And it would have been good if they hadn't drawn their other color. I would have been keeping them off a color. That is one of the reasons to play Molt Tender, after all. Treasure Mage, okay. Hull Drifter is a pretty classic card to get with this, I feel like. Okay, the Ether Spark. You hate to see that. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. I guess I should have killed this Treasure Mage so they couldn't just curve into it. Yeah, the Ether Spark kind of messes me up when I try to play around it. Like, if I just killed this thing, they can't play it then. Yeah, that would have been way better. What am I doing? I was thinking of, like, killing this guy, but killing a 2/2 so they can't play their Ether Spark would have been pretty great. Yeah. Just horrific play, honestly. I literally set up to do it, and then I just, like, backed down once I saw they had a 4/2. Like, what am I doing? That was the whole point of the way I tapped my mana that turn. Just bad. Oh. This is my draw a forest and try to win that way plan. Don't even know if it's good enough because they have this 8/8 trampler. Gosh, if I never ended up getting to spend the Grim Bauble. If I had just killed this thing with Grim Bauble, I would have won. I think. They wouldn't have gotten to play the Aether Spark on curve. They're kind of set up to just like play their... I mean, they're going to fight spell something. 100%. Okay. No blocks. Okay. Interesting. Play this, sacking that to kill that guy. Then they equip that and they win. Sack the bauble, kill the transit mage. Attack in, kill the Aether Spark. Play the Jabiric. And then hope to hit a forest in my next two draws. Oh, it's so close now. It's all about whether I draw a forest. Yep. Good. Never lucky. They get to activate it and do it twice. Yeah, this game's feeling pretty over. Yep, we had one draw step, and if we had gotten it, we would have won. Gosh darn it. Oh, man. We had so many draws of the forest, too. Gosh. Dang it. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this. That last game I also just horrifically misplayed. I should have just killed their 2/2. I don't know. I think I got distracted, kind of. I like looked at their hand. I was like, I was going to kill the 2/2, and then I looked at their hand. I was like, oh, they have a 4/2. I'll kill that. And then I was like, oh, the Aether Spark. Duh. Because if I just kill their Transit Mage, they can't play the Ether Spark on their turn. They have to play their 4-2 off curve. And then they play their 4-2. I keep attacking them. Then they play the Ether Spark. Just really bad. I'm very just like whenever I make a misplay like that, I'm very just disappointed in myself. Like, gosh. So much could have been done better. Playing this guy because he blocks and can come back later. Perfect. It's all going as I foresaw. Maybe I wasn't supposed to trade. Maybe I just let them build up their speed a bit. I don't want them to surveil, really. They kept it on top. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. This thing trades with my 4-2. Yeah, I'm not blocking. Yeah, I think I'm slightly out of it. I'm not playing the West right this second, so I just need to focus up. Okay. Take one of their good cards. Swamp. Okay, not a great card. Marshall's Path Bruiser. Okay. That thing actually is kind of scary because if they do find a way to crew it, it hits me for 7. Send in with the gang. Okay. Sure. So now it has vigilance and stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Yes! Got the win. We're headed to the finals. Okay, let's focus up. Take a deep breath. Okay, see you folks there. Welcome. We have a great hand in this final round. Time to really let our cards shine. Carry on Cruiser plus the ARCHETYPE. Plus some lands in the mole. Okay. Yes! Clutch. So clutch. And they're missing land drops. We're in really good shape to win this game. Let's just not choke it. I think I would trade a 2/3 for a 4/1. Okay. I'd rather keep my real creatures, especially because I can use this creature for other things. Okay. Easily taking the forest. This thing can make this thing cheaper, so that's good to know about. Chick's only going to get better and better. Mildly confusing. I'm just going to keep activating this guy. That makes sense. Chandra, okay.
Out of my way. I'm here to win. Now that's a winning ride. Keep up the pace.
No blocks. I want to keep my guys in play, so if I find my card, I can jam it and kill the Chandra. Mm-hmm. It's tricky. I have this to get back at Chick later, though. It's a tricky game here. The Planeswalker complicates things. Okay, at Chick down. He'll be back. But now if I do find my card, I just basically win.
No time to think. Just drive.
Why didn't it let me order them? Maybe it did and I missed it.
No breaking till the end.
This, sack it to kill this guy. Kill Chandra. Hopefully I don't mill my Into the World ooze now. Okay. So I can get back another Swampy. They can kill 2 insects or 2 of my guys. But no matter what they kill, Chandra's down. So that's huge. They might want to trade with the Beast Rider Vanguard, honestly. Yeah. I don't blame them. So now I know the bottom's 4 cards. So I have 10 cards left. One of them is the ooze, which will win me the game on the spot. So let's get rid of their removal spell if they have one that can kill Atchik. Broken Wings. Oh, they have the ooze as well. That's hilarious. I have the Broken Wings for it, though. We're swarming. Oh, we're swarming all over them. They can't stop them. I have so many insects. That chick is going crazy. They're so big. They're so huge. Oh, gosh. Yes, my opponent is so kind. They're letting me play it out. Just bring in for $1 million. It's 66, 72, 84 damage. Oh, gosh. Can you imagine if my opponent had broken wings and I just lose because I attacked with the Atchik? I should have played around broken wings. I got over eager. My opponent. I still think I would have won because I have so many insects, but my opponent like broken wings this. I get the 3/3 or whatever. And then they go block Atchik, block this guy, take, I guess, 13 damage anyway. They would have gone to 1. Oh, so much damage. I'm so glad we got to do that. I'm so glad we got to do that. 85, yeah, the 1/1 counter. I'm so glad we got to do that before in the course of this draft. If I hadn't punted that one game where not killing the guy before they played the Ether Spark, I wouldn't have got to do that. So it's all upside. That's one of those ones where if you're on YouTube and you watched all the way till the end, you really got to see the magic happen. What a performance. Well, this deck was super fun. We got another max win run, super satisfying. Not a lot of removal, but really good graveyard synergies. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. And to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video, leave hashtag 85 in the comment section down below, because that was the most glorious combat step, maybe of the format's history. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying my content, you can support it over on Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.